On July 1st of this year, Sony announced that they will be stopping all physical game production in 2028, starting on January 1st. And they have actually gone radio silent since then about the situation. They have not addressed the elephant that they have actually themselves put in the room, and have not addressed the backlash they have been getting nonstop about the situation. They actually, about a week, almost a week later, the very first thing they actually post is about their fight stick that is coming out. Not gonna lie, actually, if it wasn't for the controversy that's going on, it actually looks like a pretty cool fight stick. I wouldn't actually mind getting one myself, though. But basically, essentially, what they are doing is basically waving something shiny in front of your face, thinking that it'll be a nice distraction. When they realized that didn't work out, they just kept on rolling out new post after new post. And then now, the most recent one that I have noticed is they're talking about Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. These aren't remasters, they are not remakes. They are just basically a port that they are bringing over from the original two games. Now, these are great games. I personally love the Call of Duty games. I think they are actually fantastic when it comes to the Black Ops franchise. The first two games are fantastic. I love them. But Sony is essentially going, oh, hey, we see that you're upset. We're not going to address that you're upset. We're not going to address why you're upset. But here, look at this shiny new thing we got right here. We got this fight stick. Oh, you don't like that? Okay, don't worry about it. Here, look at the PlayStation games for this month. Oh, you don't like that either? We're bringing Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 back. And you can play those games on PS4 and PS5. And it is ridiculous because they are actually also offering a discount on top of that for Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, where you get basically 50% off, I think, of each game, about 50 to 60% off each game if you have PlayStation Plus, because they know people, myself included, are canceling their PlayStation Plus membership. Now, let's just face facts. I don't think Sony is going to actually change their mind on this situation. They've gone as long as they have already without addressing the situation, and Sony is not dumb. They know the controversy that this has caused. They know the anger that a lot of fans and a lot of people who play their games have about the situation. I've made a couple of videos, and this is not, just like I said before, this in previous videos, this is not about just Sony. This is any corporation who does this. Sony is just being the most egregious when it comes to it. Microsoft is doing their own thing with the disc to digital program. Now, granted, while I am not a fan of the direction it is heading in, it is definitely a smoother transition that we are heading into than what Sony is doing. Sony is basically cutting us off completely, and knowing that the PS6 is going to more than likely be an all digital console, guess what? You won't be able to take your PS4, your PS5 physical games and put them into the system. You'll basically need to, unless Sony changes their mind or backtracks or does something different or has some kind of physical attachment that you could plug into your PS6 to use your old games, you will have to actually buy all those games again digitally. And Sony is, I really don't think they're going to change their mind on this. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that we should actually just cave into what Sony is doing and just accept defeat and go from there. Honestly, I feel that we should actually double down on what we're doing with Sony. I think that we should, more people need to actually acknowledge the fact that this is a problem. More people need to acknowledge the fact that Sony is basically doing this out of corporate greed, not because they see consumer trends and because they see things heading in a certain direction. They are lying to your faces. They are skewing numbers, and they are basically doing this because they want to earn more money. They want to make more money. And don't get me wrong, I understand that's what a corporation's job is to do, but not at the expense of screwing over so many different people and taking away options without giving something in return. Like I said in my last video as well, if they were giving us something in return, whether it was lowering the cost of games or lowering the cost of consoles or making it so you didn't have to pay to play online, then that would be a different story. They would be giving us something in return, but we are getting nothing. We are actually losing the ability to have choice and paying more money. They're not even throwing in competition in there. You're not seeing things like other storefronts being put onto their platform. You are locked into that system. And like I said, this rings true for any corporation that does this. I, amongst many people I know, are switching over to PC. Some of my good friends are switching over to PC as well. They are just done and fed up with this corporation bullshit. And that is the thing I absolutely hate, is the fact that if you look at gaming consoles, each one of them have had their fair share of doing this crap. Look at this, look at the release of the Xbox One and the PS4. That was a generation where one of the biggest screw ups coming from Microsoft happened when it came to the announcement of the Xbox One, and Sony came out with this video.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
PlayStation. Which they made fun of Microsoft for actually making the move they were doing back then, in which they are making the move right now. That was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, in the grand scheme of things, really isn't that crazy long of a time. Sony is now going like, you know what? Maybe actually Microsoft had the good idea. Maybe we'll actually go all digital. So this has been kind of my take on the situation. The thing that kind of inspired me to make this video is the fact that Sony has been kind of whisper quiet about the whole situation and about just the entire controversy they themselves have created. And it's pissed me off because they are doing essentially what they're doing is shaking something shiny in front of your face, going, oh, hey, don't just completely ignore what we're doing over here. We're not doing anything wrong. We're not going to take away your options. We're not going to screw you over. We're not going to take money out of your pocket. We're going to just basically throw those nice little shiny things in front of your face, hoping that you'll forget. But what we need to do is we need to double down on how pissed off we are at Sony and actually let them know that. Because if we let Sony get away with this, guess what? Microsoft might do the same thing. Nintendo might do the same thing. Any corporation out there that is looking at Sony might see how they are able to get away with it and go, maybe we might do the same thing. Maybe we might screw over our consumer base just to add a few extra dollars in our pocket. So that's been my take on the situation. This is kind of a little bit more of an angrier rant than I've actually liked to do. When I started this channel, I wanted to do reviews and talk about something I love. The news lately in the gaming industry has really pissed me off, and it's been just nothing but just crap news left and right. But I actually plan on doing more reviews, starting with this microphone here, the Mayano PD100W dynamic microphone, wireless, as you guys clearly see. So if you guys actually watched this video and you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know how this mic is actually sound, and actually if it's a step up from my previous audio and my older videos. But as always, it's been James with Blue Eye Tech. I'll catch you guys next time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later.